Day 23, 11:47 p.m. I'm walking down a street I've walked 100 times before, but tonight something feels different. There's a man about 40 meters behind me. He's been there for 3 blocks, same pace, same distance. My heart rate is climbing, and the question I have to answer in the next 30 seconds is this real or am I just paranoid? That moment right there is exactly why I did this experiment. 30 nights, walking alone after dark. No car, no shortcuts. Every night I documented what I saw, what I felt, and what I learned. By the end of this video, you will walk at night differently, not in fear, but in control. I'm Asha, and this is Safety Nest. Let me tell you why I started this experiment. Someone close to me had a frightening experience walking home alone one night. Nothing happened, but it could have. And when we talked about it afterward, the thing that struck me wasn't the incident itself. It was how completely unprepared they were. Not in terms of fighting back, but in terms of even noticing. They had no idea they'd been in a risky situation until it was already far behind them. That conversation stayed with me. Because I talk about situational awareness on this channel constantly, I cover the theory, the tactics, the mindset. But was I actually living it? So I decided to find out. Every night for 30 days, I walked alone after dark. Different routes, different times. Some familiar, some completely new. And I kept a journal. What I noticed, what I missed, what surprised me, and what genuinely scared me. What came out of those 30 nights were 7 lessons that changed how I think about nighttime safety forever. Not rules you read in a pamphlet, real, lived, tested experience. These are those lessons. Night 3. I'm walking through a busy area, music in one ear, half watching something on my phone as I move. And I almost walked directly into a group of men who had stopped on the pavement just ahead of me. I didn't see them until I was about 5 meters away. 5 meters. That's the length of a car. In a dangerous situation, 5 meters is already too late to change what happens next. Here's what I learned. Your phone doesn't just distract your eyes, it cuts your hearing, narrows your field of vision, and signals to everyone around you that you are not paying attention. You are broadcasting that you are checked out. And for anyone watching, that is an invitation. The rule I adopted from night 4 onward: phone away after dark. If I needed to check something, I stopped, stepped to a wall, checked it, and put it back before moving. No music in both ears. One ear free, always. Within a week, the difference in what I was picking up was remarkable. Footsteps, voices, changes in ambient noise. Sounds I had been drowning out became early information again. By week 2, I started thinking about light completely differently. Not as something that makes me feel comfortable, but as tactical information. Darkness isn't randomly distributed on a street. It clusters. Behind parked cars, in doorway recesses, under broken streetlights, between patches of lamplight. Once you start mapping darkness as you walk, you stop being surprised by what comes out of it. The pattern I noticed across 30 nights. The most uncomfortable moments always happened in transition zones. The short stretches between lit areas and dark areas. That's where your eyes are still adjusting, your visibility is lowest, and you are most exposed. Walk those stretches faster. Don't pause in them. If you need to stop and check your surroundings, stop in a lit area, back against a wall, where you can see everything coming. And here's the side of this nobody talks about. Light also makes you visible. If you want to observe without being observed, position yourself just outside the edge of a light pool. You can see everything illuminated in front of you. Anyone standing in the light cannot see you clearly at all. Simple, but almost nobody thinks about it consciously. This was the biggest practical discovery of the entire 30 days, and I want you to remember this one above everything else. Everyone knows the advice. If you think you're being followed, cross the street. But crossing the street only works once, and it tells the person behind you that you've noticed them. What's far more powerful is the anchor point technique. Here's how it works. When you suspect someone is following you, you create a natural-looking reason to stop and turn. You anchor to a fixed point. Check your phone as if reading an address. Slow down near a shop window as if checking the hours. Turn around as if you've forgotten something. Each of these gives you a natural, unforced, 180-degree view of the street behind you, without signaling that you're checking. You can clock exactly who's there, how far back, and whether they mirror your stop. If someone mirrors your stop, pausing when you pause with no obvious reason, that is your clearest confirmation signal. At that point, you don't run. You move toward density, toward light, toward people, toward open businesses. You are making yourself a harder target and a more witnessed one. Night 11. I'm in an unfamiliar neighborhood, later than I intended, and I realize I'm not sure of the fastest route back to a main road. And I notice something about myself. I'm trying to solve this completely alone. Head down, Maps app open, walking fast. And all around me are open businesses, people outside restaurants, a security guard at a building entrance. I have 5 potential allies within 20 meters, and I'm treating all of them like scenery. People are infrastructure. A lit shop with staff inside is not just a building. It's a safe haven you can enter at any moment. A security guard is not just a uniform. They are someone whose entire job is to notice and respond. From night 12 onward, the first thing I did in any new environment was identify my nearest human anchor. Not because I expect it to need help, but because knowing it was there changed how I carried myself, and that confidence is visible. Visible confidence is one of the most powerful deterrents that exists. People who look like they know exactly where they are and who they could turn to are not easy targets. Looking capable is not the same as being capable, but in most situations, it produces the same result. Across 30 nights, I had 8 moments where something felt wrong before I could explain why. A figure standing still on a moving street. A car positioned differently than when I'd passed it an hour earlier. A group whose body language shifted the moment they saw me. In every single one of those 8 moments, when I reviewed what had triggered the feeling afterward, there was a real, identifiable signal I had processed before my conscious mind caught up. The problem is, we have been trained to dismiss this. We call it paranoia. We tell ourselves we're being dramatic. We override it. It's probably fine. Don't be rude. I'm nearly home. Gavin de Becker, who literally wrote the book on this, calls it the gift of fear. Your threat detection system evolved over hundreds of thousands of years. It is faster and more pattern sensitive than your rational mind. When it fires, and you can feel it fire because your body responds, heart rate up, pace changes, the hair on your neck rises. Do not argue with it. Act on it first. Analyze it later. By week 3, I started varying something deliberately. My posture, my pace, and my eye contact. Some nights I walked distracted, slightly hunched, eyes down. Other nights I walked tall, steady pace, making brief, natural eye contact with people I passed. The difference in how people responded to me was immediate and consistent. On the distracted nights, I was approached more, asked for things more. People stepped into my path more. On the aware nights, almost none of that. The research backs this up clearly. People who move with purpose and awareness are significantly less likely to be targeted than those who appear uncertain or checked out. You don't need to look aggressive. You just need to look like someone who knows exactly where they are and what is around them. Head up, steady pace, brief, natural eye contact. That posture communicates, I see you. I am not an easy choice. And for someone looking for an easy choice, that is often enough. I told you at the start about day 23. The man 40 meters behind me who had been there for 3 blocks. Here is what I did. I used an anchor point, slowed near a closed shop front as if looking at the window display, and turned to face the street. He stopped. Not at anything, just stopped, mid-pavement, looking at his phone. But the phone glow wasn't reflecting on his face the way it would if he was actually reading something. He was waiting. I had about 4 seconds to decide what to do with that. I crossed toward a cluster of restaurants with people outside. Steadily, not running, not rushing, just purposeful. I stopped outside the nearest open restaurant, turned, and made direct eye contact with him across the street. He looked away, changed direction, gone in under 30 seconds. Nothing happened, but everything about how I handled that moment was different from how I would have handled it on day 1. I was calmer, faster, more deliberate. I had stopped reacting. I had started responding. That is what 30 days of practice does. And that is what every lesson in this video was building toward. So what actually changed after 30 days? Let me be completely direct with you. I didn't become fearless. I didn't become some kind of trained operative. That is not what this is. What changed is something far more useful than that. I stopped walking at night as a passive experience and started walking as an active one. I went from someone moving through an environment to someone reading it in real time. And that shift from passive to active is the entire game. Because here is the truth about personal safety that most people never say out loud. Almost every dangerous situation has a window. A moment before it becomes dangerous, where a different choice, a different direction, a different response changes everything. The people who stay safe are not the strongest or the fastest. They are the most aware. They catch the window. They act in it. After 30 days, I catch more windows. That is the whole lesson. Here's what I want you to do. Not 30 days. I know that's a commitment. Start with 7 nights. At least 20 minutes walking alone after dark, but with 3 rules. Phone in your pocket, 1 ear free, and a journal open when you get back. Write down 3 things you noticed that you wouldn't normally. 3 moments where your gut said something your brain hadn't caught up to yet. You don't need to go somewhere dangerous. Start on your own street. The point is not the location. It's the active practice of paying attention. After 7 days, you will see your own neighborhood differently. Your eyes will calibrate. Your instincts will get louder. And when something real happens, not if, when, you will already know how to respond. If you made it to the end of this video, you already think about this differently than most people do. That matters. Share this with one person who walks alone at night. It doesn't need a message. Just send it. You might never know how useful that turns out to be. Drop in the comments, which of the 7 lessons hit closest to home for you? I read every single comment on this channel. And if you want more content like this, real practical awareness you can actually use, subscribe and hit the bell. There is a lot more coming. Stay aware, stay safe.